That was a really slow fade in, wasn't it? I don't know why that happened like that. Good evening, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon. Wherever you are in the world, you're on Zwift Run. This is Zwift Running. It's Friday night here in the UK. It's absolutely pouring with rain outside. So I'm glad to be in the shed with my new Zwift bottles and Zwift stickers. Look. Right on. Tonight we are doing a workout. Let's have a look at the screen. Hold on 1 second and we'll get going. Let's look at this screen here. Now, why is that fade so slow? That's a really slow fade, isn't it? We don't want it to be that slow. Standard fade. Okay, never mind. We won't worry about that now. Right, so this is my runner, bending over very inopportunely. Please don't do that. Don't bend over like that. Okay, and we're going to press the letter E on the keyboard. The letter E brings up our workout screen. Right, every Friday night, live on Zwift Run, we do a workout. Now, bearing in mind that I've got a marathon on Sunday, I don't want to be going overly fast tonight. And also, Monday Run Club is a speed session. Wednesday workout is a speed session. 3 speed sessions in a week is probably not the greatest idea. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a medium workout, which is this one here. It's called Up and Down to Medium. So that means that I'm not going flat out. I'm not taking it too easy, but I'm not going flat out. And what the idea is of every Friday night is we're going to go through one of these workouts, and as time goes by, more workouts will be added. I'm going to go through each one each week to show you what they're like and to try and encourage you to get on Zwift and get doing workouts, because they are absolutely fantastic for your fitness. Intervals, speed intervals, tempo runs, all really good ideas when you're training for a marathon. In fact, when you're training for any distance race at all. So let's get going with this. Let's press workout, and you can immediately see I've got a little grey screen in front. Why is he bending over all the time? Stand up, for goodness sake. I know you're stretching, but really, come on. Okay, bear with me 2 seconds. I'm just going to get something going on my stream. And we're away. Okay, so Friday workout, here we go. Let's start the treadmill. One thing you might notice is it takes my runner a little while to get moving because the stride foot pod sometimes takes a little while to just warm up and get ready. So we'll start running and we'll go up to 10k an hour, there or thereabouts, 9k an hour. See, he's still not running. Right, now he's got going. Okay. So gentle jog to warm up. Now you can see on the screen there, it's telling me to go at 11.4 kilometers an hour. So let's move up a little bit then, because we're going too slow at the moment. Gradually go up. I don't want to make it go too fast up. So this is a 1200 meter warm up, so 1.2 kilometers of warm up. We've got a little bit of an agenda tonight. because I've got my marathon on Sunday. I'm taking it as a training run, to be honest. I'm not going crazy on it. But I wanted to talk about tapering and fatigue and rest. And a little bit about nutrition, if you'd like. Let's go up a little bit faster. Oh, my keyboard's going to fall off. There you go. It's telling me to go 11.7 at the moment. I'm not quite there yet, I'm just warming up. We'll get there in a minute. So if you've got any questions about tapering, about workload, structure of your week, in terms of the kind of training you need to be doing, for any race really, then do drop me a line, ask me a question. And the first question in already is from Russ Downey. He's asking me, do I wear a heart rate monitor when I'm running a marathon? And what percentage heart rate zone do I try and stay within? So, okay. When you say, do I wear a heart rate monitor, what you're talking about perhaps is a heart rate strap like I'm wearing now. One of those. I don't wear one of those because I have optical heart rate on my watch, so my watch is also my heart rate monitor. Some people argue that the heart rate monitor on an optical watch is not as accurate as that on a chest strap, and that might be true. However, I'm not so concerned with its exact accuracy. Let me just get up to speed a bit because we're a bit slow, aren't we? Let's get up there slowly. So yes, I have got a heart rate monitor working when I run a marathon, but when I'm actually running the marathon, I'm not looking necessarily at my heart rate, because I kind of know how fast to run to stay within certain zones, and I mainly look at pace. So for example, my marathon PB was at London 2 years ago, London Marathon 2 years ago, and for that marathon I had to run 4 minutes and 30 seconds per kilometre to get in at 3:10. And I didn't look at my heart rate really at all. I just knew that I had to run at 4:30 every kilometre for 42 kilometres, and I would get in at 3:10, which is what I did. Now I always look back at my heart rate. Still going a bit slow. There we are. A bit fast now. There we are. Right, we're at 12.6 and the workout wants us to go at 12.6. And then we'll relax again for another 1600 metres at 12. Now, a marathon, for heart rate, you would want to be in zones 3. Well, it depends how you're working your marathon. If you're going for it, if you're really going for it, you want to be mainly in zone 3 and touching into zone 4 for a good 30% of the run. If you're taking it easy, or if you're kind of not going all out, you'd be in zone 3 and down in zone 2 a little bit. So if you know the Zwift zones, zone 2 is green, zone 3 is yellow, zone 4 is orange. Oh, so I need to pay attention to my warm-up. Okay, so we can go back down to 12 now. A bit faster. Okay, so we've got 1600 meters at this pace. So a good steady pace, not overly fast. Jinxie says when doing a workout you can't see the zones. That is true, isn't it? And there's no colours to tell you either. Yeah. So all you've got is the number there. So mine is currently 156, 157. And I would be guessing that is yellow zone, zone 3 at the moment. And just below that, steps per minute 174. So I was thinking this week that because I'm running on the treadmill an awful lot, I think I'm doing too many fast sessions. You see, in my head, you should only do one speed session a week or one interval session a week. And your other sessions should be a hill session, a tempo run, and a long run. So 4 sessions a week. And then, you know, you can stick junk miles in if you want to as well. Junk miles are just running that doesn't really have a goal. I mean, every run should have some kind of goal. You could do park run on a Saturday morning as well. So that'd be 5 sessions a week. So you'd do a long run on a Sunday, park run on a Saturday, and a hill session, and a tempo run, and a speed interval session throughout the week at some stage. And then have a rest day on the Monday. So your rest day comes after your long run. And that should work for almost any distance. So from 5k training right up to ultra marathon distance. And I do all those distances. So I do like occasionally to race my park run on a Saturday morning, 5k. I like trying to beat my 5k time. I find 10k's tougher to fit in, but you know, I do 1 or 2 10k races a year. I do mostly marathons and ultras, but you know, that training session probably works for all those distances. Perhaps if you're running ultra marathons, you might do 2 longer runs a week. So I would incorporate a tempo run into a long run as well. So I would make my tempo run stick in the middle of a longer, slower run. or at the end of a long, slow run. Thank you, Turbo Runner, for the ride on. So 640 metres left in this bit of the session, and then we have an 800 metre cool down, and they have 1200 metres at 12.6k. So I am watching Facebook chat. If you do want to ask me any questions, by all means, please do. If you've got any questions about nutrition, if you've got any questions about training schedules for marathons, 10Ks, half marathons, whatever you're doing, drop me a line, ask me a question. I'll try and help. Okay, so Jeff is asking about the grey line and the red line at the bottom. Okay, it's pace and heart rate. So the red line is my heart rate and the grey shaded area is my pace. Thanks for the ride on, Eric. So you'll see when I slow down in a minute, my heart rate will come down and that grey line will dip as well with the pace. So the pace will drop down quite quickly and the heart rate will come down slowly. And then we'll go up again for the 1200 metre interval at 12.6 kilometres an hour. Anything else, guys, that you don't understand about the screen that you're looking at, do ask. It's a relatively short session, this. I said at the beginning, I've got a marathon on Sunday and I've done a lot of running this week, and I've been thinking about the number of sessions that I do on the treadmill these days. Kind of means I do a lot more speed sessions than I used to. Thanks for the ride on, Krista. So I think really I need to kind of work in some slower sessions, some more endurance sessions, some longer distance on the treadmill. And mix that in with my outdoor runs, my outdoor training. Obviously I do my hills outdoors. Thanks, Stan, for the ride on. Okay, about 100 metres to go. And then we have an 800 metres, quite slow, so I can answer any questions when I'm going nice and slow. Oh no, I'm speeding up actually, sorry. No, what's it say there? 8.9, no, I am slowing down. I suddenly thought miles an hour then, not kilometres an hour. Okay, set the treadmill right down. Not quite that far down though. Let's get it right. So you can see the pace has dropped off. Look at the bottom of the screen there. The grey shaded area. Pace has dropped right off. And the heart rate is slowly coming down. Karen says, good luck on my marathon. Thank you. It's a very interesting one. If you are in the UK, you might know Southend Pier. Southend Pier is the longest pier in the UK, I think, as far as I'm aware. And the marathon is called the Southend Pier Marathon. And we're going up and down the pier 11 times. Or is it 12 times? 11 or 12 times up and down Southend Pier here in the UK. So that's going to be fun, isn't it? It's by the same company, Sussex Trail Events, who organised a marathon called the Car Park Marathon. You know those multi-storey car parks you get? So Sussex Trail Events found a disused multi-storey car park and ran a marathon in it. as far as we know, the only one in the world. And we think this pier one is going to be the only pier marathon in the world. If you know different, do let me know. So Chris Ty says, and it's a good way into talking about tapering and recovery and rest, shouldn't I be taking a couple of days off before running a marathon? Well, yes, is the simple answer to that. The difficult answer is yes and no. It depends how experienced you are, and it depends what your goal is for your run. Now, my goal for this marathon on Sunday is to film it and not to go for a time. So I am not racing on Sunday, I'm just running a marathon, and I'm taking my GoPro camera along and I'm making a film of the event for the organisers. So my priority on Sunday is to get good film, and to finish the marathon is kind of second, and getting a time is not even in the equation. So I'm not going for it on Sunday. So that's why I don't mind training right through, really. I will take a day off tomorrow, but I can train right through and it's not a big deal. Now, a lot of training plans have you tapering. So from about 3 weeks out from your marathon, you start to reduce the volume of running that you do. So the number of miles that you cover, not necessarily the intensity of your runs. So you might want to keep up your speed runs and your interval training, but just drop the number of miles you do. Some experienced runners are able to recover quicker because their muscles are attuned, they've got their nutrition dialed in, so they know the foods that they can take for quick recovery. Their muscles are used to recovering quickly, and so a lot of runners will run right up to the week before their marathon, and will even go, you know, for a slow 5k the day before. And some training plans have runners doing that. So they will have runners running right up to their marathon, but just reducing the volume that they do. And that's a good taper, really. I would often not suggest completely stopping running at all. Just massively reduce. So by half each week, reduce the number of miles that you do. So in the final week, you know, if you've been doing 60 miles a week, in the final week, you might only do 10, 20 miles max. And those would be slow miles as well, just to get your body recovered. With maybe one speed run, maybe. Okay, so 60 meters, and then we have 1200 meters at 12.6 kilometers per hour. So we're going to be speeding up, but we're not going quite as long as the first interval. Here we go. 20 meters. You can see the banner there. Tells us when to go. I'm going to press it now. Start getting up there. And Wardle says, ride on, thank you. Go, let's get a bit faster. Right, are we there? Maybe one more. One more. We'll get there. Okay. So just over a kilometre now. Oh, we're now up to... Oh, we'll leave it. That's all right. No, it's not. It's too fast. So, just got to be very careful to make sure that you can get this pace correct. So I think that'll be okay. One more kilometre at this pace. Any other questions, guys? Do ask away. If you've Got any questions about nutrition? Got any questions about pacing? I'll just repeat some of the stuff I said at the beginning. Thanks for the ride on, Danny. So, my idea of a structured week is that you do 4 to 5 sessions a week, depending on what kind of training you want to do, what kind of race you want to do. So you might be doing a 5k, you might be doing a 10k, you might be doing a half marathon, ultra. I would recommend almost the same structured week for all of those, just the level of volume differs slightly. So I would say you need to do 1 hill session a week, so 1 climbing session, 1 speed interval session a week, 1 tempo run, and I'll discuss what a tempo run is in a minute, and 1 long run, and then you could stick in a Saturday morning park run as well, like a speedy 5k or something. So that would kind of make two speed sessions a week, but one would be an interval session. So a tempo run is where you're going from medium distance at just over medium heart rate. Certainly not max heart rate. Working hard, but not overly hard. And so for you, it depends what your long run distance is, what distances you do, as to how far you go in your run. So your tempo run could be 3 miles. It could also be 7 or 8 miles. Your long run, your Sunday morning long run, could be 10 miles, or it could be 20. It depends what you're training for and where you're up to in your running career and your training for that particular race. So if you're training for a marathon, but you're only in week 2 of your training block, you're not going to be doing a 20-mile long run. But if you've got 4 weeks to go to your marathon, you definitely would be doing a 20-mile run. .300 meters to go at this pace. So Karen is asking, for me, for a marathon, how many miles do I average a week? Well, that's changed recently. It used to be, a couple of years ago, that I would run 40 miles a week when training for a marathon. Now, I would tend to run 60. So 60, I would say, is kind of mid-range for marathon runners. So good, elite, strong, fast marathon runners will probably do 70 to 100 miles a week in training, maybe even more. People like me who are maybe just ahead of mid-pack would be doing around 50 to 70. And then mid-pack runners, those people who are looking at 3:30, 4.5 hour marathon, I would say they'll be doing about 40 miles a week. Oh, now I'm supposed to be slowing down. Okay, faster than that. So we've got just 400 meters at this pace, and then we've got 800 meters quite quick, 13.3 kilometers an hour. So that's the fastest we're going to go today. 800 meters at 13.3. So we just need to spend a few seconds recovering so we're ready for that burst. This kind of training, fast, slow, is what will get you extra speed in your marathon, extra speed in your 10K, because your muscles will be used to going fast later on in a run. And what often happens is you start at a certain pace and you just can't sustain it. Interval training will help with that, because you might have run 10 kilometers and then you've got another interval of speed. So in your legs, there's already 10 kilometers in your legs, and then you're going to run fast again. And when it comes to your race, when you get to that point, you'll say to your legs, and your brain will tell you, I've done this before, I can do this. And your legs will have it in them to go at that speed, at that distance in the race. It's also good for lactic acid recovery. Right, where are we up to? Okay, so here we go for 13.3 kilometers per hour. Let's see what that is. A bit faster. No, a bit faster still. Bit faster still. No, that's too fast. There we are. Something around there. That'll do. So the idea here is to just stay relaxed. Relax your shoulders. Keep your head up so you can get a decent amount of oxygen to your lungs. If you're bent over, you're crushing your lungs, so you won't get the oxygen in that you need. And you do need more oxygen going at a faster pace. Your body is burning things quicker. It needs oxygen into the muscles quickly. I mean 500 meters, 50k. Head up, shoulders down, just try and relax. Try and breathe sensibly. That's 400 meters to go. Once round a running track. See, your steps per minute has increased. 182. I can see the finish line. See the white archway. We need to get to there. Heart rate 170. Pushing it now. Let's go. Keep relaxed, stay focused. Let's go. 200 meters. Should be hurting. This is supposed to hurt. Keep your upper body still, as steady as you can, facing forward, arms moving forward. It's your hips, your legs that are doing the work. The rest of you is conserving energy. Oh, we're not supposed to have slowed down that much. Back up. See the pig in the sky? Yeah, so we're supposed to be still at 13. Let's go up a bit. I find it very difficult to judge. That'll do. Oh, so I just got up to 13 and now it tells me to go down to 7. How amusing. Okay. And that's it. So, I hope that shows you the value of interval training. That one was good because it makes it gradually faster each interval, but less distance. So the first interval was 1600 meters at 12. Second interval was 1200 meters at 12.6. And the last interval was 800 meters at 13.3. Great build up. And you'll often find some interval sessions called pyramid sessions where they do that and then they'll come down again. So they'll basically be the same in reverse. And you really feel like you've done a good job at the end of it. I enjoyed that. So we haven't really talked about nutrition, so we'll leave that for another time. But we've had a bit of a word about structured training for your week. We've talked a little bit about tapering. We've talked a little bit about pacing. And we'll continue these discussions. Come and join me please every Friday night, UK time 7:30. So every Friday. Thanks Steve for the ride on. And we'll discuss training techniques. Now, I value your opinion, so, you know, please, if you're experienced, if you've got experience, tell me about it. Tell me what you go through in your runs. Tell me what you do. Share it with the community. Zwift is a community and we need your input. So tell us, what's your training regime like? How do you structure your week? What's your nutrition? What are your distances? What do you enjoy doing? Do you like 10Ks? Do you like hilly trail marathons? Why do you run on Zwift? All these questions. Share your knowledge, share your understanding with the rest of the community. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. Feels like a bit of a short session, and actually, look, we're at 7.94 kilometres. You know, I don't have OCD, but I do have OCD. So we have to get to at least 8 kilometres, don't we? I mean, it would be foolish of me to not get the extra 10 XP points just to jog over the line for for 8 kilometres, and then we'll call it a day, guys. Do join John Hancock tomorrow morning for Run in the Park, UK time 9 o'clock. Run in the Park. It's kind of the equivalent of the British Park Run, which is a 5k run held every Saturday morning. It's free, actually, across the world. There are park runs all over the world, but it started in the UK, and they are the most in the UK. If you can't make Saturday morning, guys, come along on Monday Run Club, 7:30 UK time, 7:30 PM UK time, but there is one at 6 AM Eastern time. And there's also another one at 8 PM Eastern time. So if you're in the States, or those time zones suit you, if you're in Asia, Australia, 6 AM Eastern time, 7:30 PM UK time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Monday Run Club, and exactly the same for Wednesday workout. So Wednesday workout is the same as well. Come and join us for those. Don't worry about pacing. If you consider yourself to be a slow runner, C and D groups will do you just fine. If you think you're a bit faster, B and A groups will do you just fine. There is a pace for you, there is a distance for you, there is a community for you here on Zwift. So come and join us. Guys, thanks very much. Before my runner shows his bum off again, which really isn't the done thing, is it? We should make a move and get out of here. Where's my camera? There we go. This is really slow. Look at that. Look at that fade. How slow is that? I need to change that, don't I? Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Join me again, please. Next Friday for Friday training session. And we'll see you in the week on Zwift. Take care, guys. See you soon.